Hey, and welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being with us. We're here with Gene. Gene, so did you hear that Donald Trump? I didn't see the video. I don't know if there's a video clip or whatever, but I guess he mocked Asian allies, the Japanese prime minister, as well as the president of South Korea with an Asian accent.
I haven't been watching the news, so whatever you heard is. You didn't hear anything either? I haven't been listening to the news, so I'm no help there.
You know that Trump's actually Asian, right? So how could he?
Trump is Asian?
He's Vietnamese. His real name is Su Nguyen. So that's ridiculous. He would never do that.
Whoa. I thought his name was Su Wing Lung. It's Su Nguyen?
Su Nguyen. His real name is Su Nguyen.
And I thought he lost. I thought his name was Su Lost.
Tell me about this Rush Limbaugh thing. I told you, so a couple of weeks ago, it was the Tulsi Gabbard video. So we pulled the audio. Gene was here. We pulled the audio off of CNN. Tulsi Gabbard destroying Kamala Harris regarding her days as a prosecutor in the state of California. Putting people in prison for smoking marijuana. When she was asked if she smoked marijuana, she laughed about it, et cetera, et cetera. A couple days later, and it was just the audio, I get a message saying the Rush Limbaugh channel has contested the video, saying that was their copyright. But we didn't get it from, first of all, it was the CNN debate. It should be CNN's audio to begin with. Secondly, I didn't even get it from Rush Limbaugh's program. I got it off a CNN clip on YouTube. What did you hear about this?
Well, I was laying in bed and I had KOA on, and I heard him talking to somebody.
Rush Limbaugh?
Rush Limbaugh was talking to somebody called in, and he was talking about somebody infringement on his copyright, and I heard him arguing and saying they said they got it off CNN, but I didn't realize that he was talking about my friend till my friend talked to me today about it. Asked me, was talking about it. I said, well, I heard that on the Rush Limbaugh show. So anyway, he got it off. He says CNN. I just know I was doing a clip with him, and I didn't know what was really going on because he's into the news. I'm not that much.
And so everybody, not everybody, but a lot of you out there know Jesse. And Jesse is a neighbor. Gene's over there a lot. Jesse's going through a situation with Comcast right now. He's having some turmoil with Comcast cable. What's going on?
Well, they sent a guy out to hook it up, and he thought he could just come in with the box inside, and that didn't work. So said they'd have to get a tech out and hook it up outside. It was disconnected at the box outside. And when they came, they messed around. And I went swimming, and they came over there and said they couldn't get in underneath. And I said, well, it's locked is 5,300, but the other side was not locked at all. And they ended up, when I went back to Jesse's after swimming, they didn't hook nothing up. And then a week later, 4 days later, he got a bill for $169.95. And they didn't do nothing, and they're billing him. So I don't know. Anyway, they billed him $169. They told him they weren't going to charge him for hookup. They were just going to charge him for the $75 a month.
Okay, so here we go. So this is Donald Trump.
And we're going to work on trade, but we're also going to work on military. When we defend nations
with China,
that are very wealthy. And
China,
we do it for almost
China.
nothing. I say, why are we defending them? We love them.
Okay.
I won't mention names, but there are a lot of them.
He said, why are we defending them? We love them. I won't mention names, but there are a lot of them. I think he's definitely talking about South Korea and Japan. Let's go ahead and continue.
We love them. They're wealthy.
South Korea.
One of them has a cash flow.
We're
going to work on trade.
We love them because they're wealthy. He said we love them. They're wealthy.
But we're also going to work on military. When we defend nations that are very wealthy, and we do it for almost nothing. I say, why are we defending them? We love them. I won't mention names, but there are a lot of them. We love them. They're wealthy. One of them has a cash flow that they say is unsustainable. It's so large. Think of that. How would you like to have an unsustainable cash flow? They don't know what to do with their money. And we defend them. It's going to change, folks. We're going to defend them. But they're going to treat us fairly. And they're going to pay for their defense. Does that make sense? And a lot of this was from many, many years ago when we defended a defeated country, and then they became strong and they became rich, and we just kept the same defense. What happened? Why didn't anybody go in and negotiate? And when I was in Asia, I spoke to a couple of the countries about it, and they looked like this. You know what this is? That means they know they're getting away with murder, and they got to start helping us out, okay? So if you don't mind, I'll start bringing that up with some of our good friends.
Okay, so that is him mocking. Okay, I'm no fan of Trump, okay? And I wasn't a fan of Trump from day one when I looked at his cabinet.
Grammarly does more than catch errors. With Grammarly, you can find really good, no, perfect word.
From day one when I saw Steve Mnuchin was in his cabinet and a billion other former Goldman Sachs executives, the tax cut for the rich, pulling out of the Iran nuclear deal, the Paris Climate Accord, all of that. There are a billion reasons not to like him. That wasn't even mocking. Would you say that was mocking Asian people?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
That's not. I work with a lady every day, Mary, who is absolutely amazing. I call her on the phone. Hey, Mary! What? What do you want? Shut up! I'm working here.
So she's Asian, Chinese?
Mary and I have a great relationship. It's called having fun with each other. People have different personalities. People have she's Chinese. Am I supposed to pretend that Mary doesn't sound like that? She sounds like that. She's a great person. I love her, but shut up. You know this. You know about this country, right? That this is. Yeah, absolutely. I know that the original Native Americans actually have Mongolian and Chinese roots. They came down through Alaska, over the Bering Strait or whatever, migrated down into North America, and you know this, yeah, yeah, because this is actually our land. Shut up. That's Mary. She's a great person. That's why I love her. But yeah, she sounds like that and she looks like that. Are we supposed to only laugh at things that the fucking what's his name talk about on who's the guy? Not Jimmy Kimmel, the other Jimmy
Fallon.
Yeah, let's just be super politically correct. No, political correct, that doesn't work. That doesn't work for comedy. What else? That really annoys me. Yeah, get Trump on it because and I just did another video. I got 8 dislikes, 0 likes, 8 dislikes. Speaking about this, and I didn't say anything wrong. I just said, he was probably joking. Here wasn't even joking. Oh. He was just demonstrating that's what.
Oh, and they got mad?
Yeah, I read this newspaper article. Trump mocks Asian allies with Asian accents. It wasn't even an Asian accent. They're lying. He just did this.
Oh, he did a look.
See, this gives Trump ammunition. This gives Trump ammunition when you just make stuff up and he said horrible things about people. He's said African people come from shithole countries. He wants people coming in from Norway. That's pretty negative.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's racist, but that's pretty negative. He's saying all some Mexicans are not criminals. That's racist. He's definitely done things that have been really controversial and are, let's just say, not nice, and bordering on racist. And I think he probably is. But there's another side of it too. Do you want overpopulation? I don't care where. I would like for people to have less kids because the cost of living goes up. So many people are moving to Denver. The cost of living shoots through the roof. Wages do not increase at the same. These management companies that own these apartments will charge you just astronomical numbers. It not to me, thank goodness, but to other people, I couldn't imagine being single and having to get an apartment in Denver. It's crazy. Gene's about to lose his apartment. No, I think there's a legitimate concern for overpopulation in cities. But there are a number of ways of addressing it. You don't have to address it through immigration. You could do a one-child rule like China does. You could do that here. And it's horrible. That it's absolutely horrible the way the Trump administration has handled that, separating kids from their parents, et cetera, et cetera. But I think there are overpopulation concerns. What do you think? Do you think?
In Denver?
Well, I would like to move to a small town.
I don't know. A lot of people are moving here, yeah. Inflation's high here with rent. But consumer goods are going up under Trump. I don't know why in avocado the day was $2.69 and they never put a tariff on it yet at King Soopers. Then they moved it down to $2.29, but everything else is going up like 25%. So where's our benefit with what Trump's doing? I'm just seeing what I see at the store.
How are we benefiting? How are we
benefiting when everything's going up?
Yeah, exactly.
He said he's going to lower meds and everything. I don't see no results. I just see everything going up.
The people that you dumbasses probably like, CNN, say, well, the economy's great, but they always give credit to Trump for the economy. You idiots have no idea what the economy is like. The economy, there's nothing more simple than the economics. There isn't a simpler subject than economics. But one thing where you idiots are getting confused is you have money in the stock market, and when the stock market tanked a little bit recently, but as the stock market goes up, they make more money because they have money in the stock market. But that's not tied to the overall economy. That's just if you have money in the stock market. That has nothing to do with what's going on in the overall economy. And unemployment is low. It's high unemployment. That's not Trump. That's Uber, Lyft, all these little, that's the gig economy. So, everyone can get a job now. That's great. If they have, as long as they have a car. If you don't have a car, you're screwed.
What about Walmart and some of those are closing stores, and Sears is still closing, and Walgreens is closing? But why is the economy going so good if these stores are all closed?
Yeah, because the economy isn't going good, and the economy hasn't been going good for 40 years.
They're acting like it is, but we could be on the verge of a recession if this deal with China and us and the fighting goes. It's people are getting scared. They're not spending money again.
Exactly, and there are two economies because the middle class is evaporating. The middle class does not exist. So you have the upper class. And you'd have different levels. You have that very small 0.01%, the oligarchs. You have the top 1%, et cetera, et cetera. But you have the upper class and the lower class, and that's where our economy is. And you and I are in the lower class, and we're feeling what that economy's like, and the upper class is feeling what their economy's like. It's the same economy, the winners versus the losers. What do you think? Oh, that Trump thing pissed me off.
The losers are going to lose.
I know it's going to be hard for us to win since we're already the losers.
I don't know how you build up out of this when they've got all the money and everything, and they've got all the lobbyists.
And we don't even organize. If you're a loser, you've got to organize. You've got to get together because you got to form unions, stuff like that. I can't even get people to vote for Bernie Sanders.
Why?
They're just completely. A lot of them have never. I talked to people. A lot of them have never even heard of him. You're voting for Bernie Sanders, right?
Yeah, because at least I watch enough to know who he is. Well, a lot of people don't even know Bernie. What about the other Democrats? Do they know Joe Biden or any of them?
I think Joe Biden is. Well, let's talk about that. You want to talk about?
I don't know much. Is he more like a Republican?
He's
Democrat?
more like
business?
he's more like a Republican. You're right. Let's see what Joe Biden said recently. Let's take a look at that clip, and you'll have a listen.
There was some girl in Iowa asking what genders there was, and he said there was 3, and there's only a female now.
Joe Biden
said there was 3 genders, and she asked him what they were, and he said, "Don't bug me, little girl," or something.
Oh, really? Did you see?
I heard.
Did he like grab her arm? I heard he grabbed her arm.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Okay,
you can show it.
So watch this one.
I want to move on to Iowa, if I can, because Joe Biden gave what was considered a blistering speech about President Trump. It was a moment that some said was one of the strongest of his campaign to date. He's been out there on the stump doing retail politics. It is a version of Joe Biden that some people think is one of the better versions of him.
This isn't what he was saying.
He's also the version of Joe Biden that says things that are controversial inadvertently, to be sure. And Toulouse, I want to play you something he said when he was speaking to a group of what we understand was Hispanic and Asian voters in Iowa yesterday. So let's listen to this.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean, but think how we think about it.
So
kids are just as fucking talented as who? White kids.
Poor kids are just as talented, as bright as white kids. So that's
poor. Oh, he doesn't classify there's any poor white kids.
So that's a real like faux pas. That's what we call Freudian slip. That looked to be a Freudian slip. He said what he was thinking. That's more racist than what Trump did. So he's basically thinking that all poor kids are people of color.
Are as smart as white kids. Lord, what if they're brighter? Poor kids are smart. They don't get schooling or nothing. How can they? Some of them.
A lot of them are extremely
bright. He was saying black kids aren't. They are as talented as white kids.
He's saying poor kids are just as bright as white kids.
Is that a slip?
I think so. Because he's saying that.
You're saying they're just as smart.
Well,
by being poor, it's not holding them back. But wouldn't that be really holding them back?
What he meant was poor kids are just as smart as wealthy kids. He said white kids.
Is that what he meant? Wealthy? Yeah, that was really a slip.
Yeah.
Oh, if he just said wealthy, it would have been worse. There's no way they're going to have the education as a wealthy kid. I don't know. Slip or not.
What do you think of Joe Biden?
Full of baloney. Malarkey, is that the word he uses? Malarkey.
Yeah.
He's full of malarkey. I don't know if I like any of them. Bernie, maybe. Maybe that. I don't know him that good. Bernie's just, Bernie. He'd be more fair than anybody because he ain't trying to screw anybody or bring more for somebody than else other. I mean, he'd be more fair. Trump's, for his people, and Biden's for he's more Republican. I don't know.
I want you to see the end of a town hall. This is telling. This is telling.
You downloaded all this?
Well, this is all on YouTube.
Oh, did you just pull it up and it's there on YouTube? Okay, I don't follow on YouTube. Oh, I see. So you can get the news anything you want, any time of the day. And you can go clear back 20 years if you wanted to. You could put 2000, year 2000 campaign, and it'd bring it up. Well, shit, this is a library.
Yeah.
This fucking library. No wonder people like computers. You don't have to fucking go to the library and get all that shit and dig and dig and dig. How did he get that ball up there in his ear on the tape? Did you see that? Like what he done? Isn't that a ball up there by his ear on that table? Look real fast.
Huh?
Did he get a ball? Is that
That's part of the
table?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I thought the fuck somehow he got the ball up there.
See if I can find it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's gold paint then. I can't see with the shit anymore. So you sat here most all day and read this stuff. That's good. And then you put it on your show.
Yeah.
So you do the rebuttal more or less. You have to be doing the rebuttal because they're doing their thing. So you getting followers. You have people know you.
Let's see.
Presidential candidate Bernie Sanders walks past tents on LA Skid Row. I ask him about seeing this harsh reality with his own eyes.
Senator, what's your human reaction just walking on Skid Row to see what's here?
It is painful. It is painful to know that we are the wealthiest country on earth, and there are people a few feet away from us here who are sleeping out on the street.
According to the most recent survey, there are more than 55,000 homeless living in LA County, and that number is rising, despite hundreds of millions of dollars spent to fix the problem.
One of the things, I mean, it's not just that the homeless population is going up, is that also that rents are going up and becoming increasingly unaffordable.
Sanders toured a permanent housing facility called Star Apartments. One resident welcoming the senator inside his unit.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
I was going from place to place.
Resident manager Ohuma Ebo Anwali used to be homeless himself.
But I don't think that anybody with a healthy mind would choose to be homeless.
Sanders says as president, he built millions of units of affordable housing like this one.
You're also going to create millions of decent paying union jobs, which is what we intend to do.
Bernie also met with patients at a sober living facility on Skid Row.
This is humane, this is cost effective, and programs like this can well become a model for the country.
Nationally, more than 500,000 people are now experiencing homelessness.
A great nation does not allow 500,000+ people to sleep out on the streets or in emergency shelters.
It has been a busy day for Sanders. In addition to that Skid Row visit,
let's have you listen to one more.
Who's that? Is that somebody at Bernie's rally? Oh,
yeah, you want to see that or no?
I don't know what she's talking about. Bernie said affordable housing. What's UNIDOS? Unidos. What is that? I don't know any of these. Town affordable housing. Hundreds packed in. Holds downtown. Now stream. I think I can see better with the glasses on. But that makes everything smaller too. Oh shit, which is the best. I can't see this. Makes the people clear, but I can't read shit.
To a unit. Without a strong...
We're going to watch a little bit of the Economic Bill of Rights Town Hall in Orient, Ohio. Oh, yeah, this is it. This is it. This is what I wanted to show you. Thank goodness.
What is it about?
At the very end here, there's something very telling.
Bill of Rights.
Let's watch the last couple minutes here with the audience.
All right. If we do not take bold and aggressive steps to transform our energy system, the world that our kids and our grandchildren will be growing up in will be increasingly unhealthy and uninhabitable. And we have a moral responsibility not to allow that to happen. All right, but it's not just climate change. It's the very essence of democracy which Trump is threatening. The antidote to what Trump stands for is for millions and millions of people to get involved in the political process in a way that we have never seen before. Thaddeus mentioned, I'm very proud.
Okay, so let's go back to Thaddeus.
In 2016, when I ran, I said to everyone, looked out in the room, you can do it. You can run for office. power. My legislation does that in the Senate. McConnell will not bring that legislation up. So what you got is a senator there who works on behalf of powerful special interest, and he's ignoring, wasn't asked the question yet. Got a question right back here, okay.
Thaddeus Hawley, Adair County Chair of the Democratic Party.
Okay.
I want to thank you, actually. It's because of you in 2016 telling everybody they need to get involved in stuff that I am here now. And,
Good.
Actually, I'm actually going to be receiving an award this year for Best New Outstanding Democrat.
Good.
Third district. That said, I would like you to speak to how important it is to get involved in your local politics and how anybody can run for office and anybody can be mayor or senator or anything, and just please get involved and reach out to me, Adair County. Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Let me just, your first name is? Thaddeus. Thaddeus made maybe the most important point of the day. And that is what my Republican colleagues want to see happen is that billionaires are able to continue to buy elections. So they love Mitch McConnell, who you mentioned was one of the prime movers of Citizens United to make it easier for billionaires to buy elections. He loves the idea of the wealthiest people in this country contributing hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And the other thing that they are trying to do is voter suppression. All over the country, they are trying to make it harder for young people, for people of color, to participate in the political process. And we're going to take them on in both sides, both ways, because we believe exactly the opposite. We believe that billionaires should not be able to buy elections. We believe in one person, one vote. And the other thing that we believe, we should make it easier for people to participate in elections, not harder. All right? Now, the way we are going to beat Donald Trump, and this is, I think, Thaddeus's point, is they have endless supplies of money, and they're going to work on voter suppression. The way we win is when ordinary people understand that for the future of their own lives and the future of this country and the future of the planet, you cannot sit it out. You cannot sit it out. Not for yourselves, more importantly, not for your children and your grandchildren. All right. If we do not take bold and aggressive steps to transform our energy system, the world that our kids and our grandchildren will be growing up in will be increasingly unhealthy and uninhabitable. And we have a moral responsibility not to allow that to happen. All right. But it's not just climate change. It's the very essence of democracy, which Trump is threatening. The antidote to what Trump stands for is for millions and millions of people to get involved in the political process in a way that we have never seen before. Thaddeus mentioned, I'm very proud. In 2016, when I ran, I said to everyone, looked out in the room, you can do it. You can run for office. You can run for, city council. You can run for school board. You can run for Congress. You can do it. Believe me. If you think you don't know enough about the issues that we face, visit with some of my friends in the United States Senate. All right? So, it is just, speak from your heart. And what you don't know, you'll learn. But we cannot be intimidated from running for office, and we certainly cannot be intimidated from voting and getting involved in every way. All right, on
so
that
he
note,
wants you involved.
Let me thank you.
I don't think you'd ever hear another politician say something like that, ever. I've never heard any other politician say something like that. So what do you think? He wants you to be involved. He wants you to run for local office, federal office.
Well, that's a true democracy. It's a freedom. The other guys aren't even expressing that freedom. They're expressing wealth, buy your way in, subdue everybody else. So, yeah, why wouldn't I like that? Most people should like what he's saying. I don't know why, why they're not buying into it, because what, are they just going to be trampled on and standbys, not any involvement? But most of us are suppressed.
I think people that are doing relatively okay, let's say you're a manager at Wendy's, You're not an entry-level employee. You're the manager, or you manage a construction crew. You manage some construction company.
Are you
or something.
talking about
They think
general managers or white managers?
Well,
or
they
Mexican
white, mainly white people. They think they're doing well. I'm successful, and Bernie Sanders is gonna, tax me, and he's gonna doing well, and he's gonna help these other people do well at my expense. And no, he wants the billionaires to quit being able to buy elections. He wants to put a very modest tax on Wall Street transactions. You trade a stock or whatever, very, very small, like 0.01% tax on that. Right now, there's no tax on Wall Street speculation. And with that tax, I believe he said it's going to some program. You could forgive all student loan debts, things like that. And that would not affect someone who's
on the trillions that's being traded, he would only do 1%. That's
a very small, even less
would,
than that.
And
even
it
less
would
than
wipe
that.
out debt. Well, the rich can afford that. People
they
who do
can.
the stock can afford that. They don't want to even pay that a penny on a dollar.
That's
Why?
very reasonable. Very reasonable.
Why are they so greedy? Is that the American way? Greed?
That's the American way.
Are you that way?
Yeah. Believe me, if I get into a position, a successful position, the hatred that I will have for you lower classes. So please donate. Please donate on PayPal. I don't have a Patreon. Please send me checks in the mail. Send me absolutely everything. Send me cookies. Send me lasagna. Please, I love lasagna. I love pasta, rigatoni. Send me authentic marinara. I like to cut my own garlic. I like to put in my own fresh basil. Oh, let's eat and have a great night.
Yeehaw. I second that.